Hey class, yesterday we were reading and learning about the people that live in polar lands. So we learned that they don't really live right at the North Pole and the South Pole, but sometimes in the areas surrounding it. Or if they do live there, it is to be temporary. They came there as scientists or as tourists to look at the weather, to look at the animals, to do some studying. So they didn't live there, right? Like not permanently, more temporary. And then we talked a little bit about the igloos and other types of things that the people that live there need to use and need to stay in for to stay safe from the harsh conditions. So we're going to read just a little bit more about these people today, okay? And you created a list of really awesome facts about these people. I want you to add to that list today. So please take that out. You can pause if you don't have it right by you and come back when you do. So we're going to add to this list because once we have a list compiled of all these awesome facts about these people, we're going to start writing our own story using the facts. Okay, so it's very, very important that we write down these facts, especially the things that we think are the most interesting or the coolest things about these people. Alrighty, so we're going to continue reading. I have a couple new vocabulary words for you. So one of those words that you're going to hear is herders. So if somebody is a herder, they're people who care for animals that wander from place to place. So yesterday I showed a picture of a field of reindeer. So reindeer out in a field and people have to herd them. So if they are a herder, that is their job, kind of like a farmer, somebody who works with those animals, okay? Another word is mobile home. So a mobile home is a home that can easily move. So it might have wheels or it might be able to fold up in a certain way. So a mobile home, it means that it can move a little easier than a permanent home that's built and stationary in one spot. Alrighty, another word is settle. So settle, it means to stay for a while. So if you get a book and a blanket and a pillow and you get yourself settled into a cozy chair to read, you probably will stay there a while if you've settled in. Okay, so those are some of the words that we're going to read about, and then we're going to read just a little bit more. So follow along. If you hear any awesome facts, pause the video, you can write them. And like everything, scroll down and you'll see photos of the text. Okay, so you can look there and copy the words, the spelling, pull straight from the text. Okay? Alrighty, so this page, it says it's titled A Herder's Life. Some Sami, Lap, and Chuki people are herders. They follow wild reindeer herds and settle in camps where the reindeer stop to feed. Look at that. You see that reindeer? So cool. Someone said they weren't sure that a reindeer was a real animal. You guys, they're real. Isn't that so neat? We don't have any reindeer here in Florida, do we? So reindeer powers, as reindeer pull sleds and they carry heavy loads and the riders. They also provide meat and skin for clothing and shelter. So those reindeers are very important to the people in polar lands. They're used for lots of things. Winter warmth. So these men up here at the top, I'll hold it a little closer so you can see. Winter warmth. So it says these men are wearing warm winter coats called parkas. So they're made from reindeer skin. The soft, warm fur is worn against the men's skin. So that way, the soft, fuzzy fur. Have you ever worn like a pair of really soft, cozy socks before? So that's kind of what this feels like. And that is up against the men's skin, so it keeps them nice and warm in the cold conditions. Mobile homes is this next section. So that subheading there says mobile homes. Arctic herders move several times a year, so their homes might be simple and light. They live in tents made from a cone-shaped wooden frame, and it's covered with reindeer skin. You see that there? In the shape of a teepee. It just has a nice wooden frame, kind of in a triangle shape, and then it's covered. And so they can easily move it from place to place if they need to move and follow those reindeer where the reindeer are going. All right, so I'm going to read you another page from this same story. We're still in polar lands. And we're going to read just a couple more vocabulary words before we read the story, okay? First one is improvements. If someone makes improvements, it makes some changes for the better. So if you've made some improvements in your homework, in your studying, that means that you've made good changes. So it's making a better outcome. Transportation. Transportation is just getting people and things to and from places. So if you're going to school, your transportation might be the school bus, or your grown up, your mom or your dad, or somebody who takes you to and from school. Construction. That word construction means building things. If you're constructing something, you're putting together material. This is a sentence. It says, have brought a modern way of life to the Arctic. So that is just saying that these people have made a life in the Arctic that is more similar to the way that we live now. So back long ago, it wasn't the same that it is now. So that word modern just means what you and I see day to day, the houses, the town that we live in, the grocery store, kind of things like that. So that saying there just is more similar to how we live. Modern industries. So that just means that jobs, so where people go to work, are similar to the jobs that we know. So we can understand. And then this word, rely on, it means need. So if you can rely on something, if you're relying on it, you need it. So we rely on food, we rely on water. It's things that we need to survive. Okay, another one is harm. If somebody is harmed, it means they're hurt. And then finally, the last one is provide. So it means make. Okay, so if somebody provides something, they've made it. So those are a lot of vocabulary words, but it's important to read and understand as we go along, words that we might not know as we read. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and read this last section of the story. Then we can create and start thinking about writing our own story. Okay, all about these people. They're so cool. They're so awesome and so strong and brave. So, modern life, this is titled here Modern Life. Improvements in transportation, okay? So, changes for the better in the ways that people move to and from. Construction, food, and clothing have brought a modern way of life to the Arctic. So things now look similar to what they look like here in Florida or in a normal average town. This says Arctic towns are like other small towns, except that water has to be delivered by truck. The water would freeze if it was distributed through pipes because it's so cold. The water would freeze and it would never get to the towns. People carriers. So the people living in polar lands no longer rely on animals like those reindeer for transportation. So today they travel on snowmobiles and motorized sleds. So would that be a fun way to get dropped off at school in the morning? Hop on with mom on your snowmobile and cruise over to Seabreeze. All right, this next section says oil industry. So the Arctic's rich supplies of oil are processed in factories such as this one. So oil is one of the world's most important fuels, and it's used to make many items. So the oil industry provides jobs, but it can also harm the Arctic environment. If you can see, there's always a bit of pollution that comes out of big machines and big places like that. So it can harm the environment and the air, but also it's important because it is bringing jobs to the people who live in the Arctic. Lots of facts, lots of good stuff we just learned about these people. I'm going to have you scroll down and you can reread and look at those same pages that I just read to you, okay? Today, add some facts. Add some facts. Add the cool ones, the ones that you think are the most interesting to your list, because we're going to take that list that we create and we're going to write our very own story all about these people, okay? So pick at least 3 more today. All right, I want you to pick 3 more. So we read 2 pages. Just pick 3 important, maybe the most important ones that you felt were very necessary to teach about the people. Alrighty, will you let me know if you have any questions? I'd love to see a picture of your complete list today. So have your grown-up send me a picture in Dojo, please, so I can look at that and make sure that we have a great content so that we can start writing our very own stories. All right, good job. Keep up the hard work. You're working really hard and practicing those complete sentences, the periods at the beginning, the capital letters at the beginning, silly Miss Thomas, and the periods at the end. So important, and you're doing an excellent job writing nice and neat and taking your time. That is a skill that you will forever be grateful that you have and that you've practiced here. So I am proud of you. Writing is so fun and so important. Let me know again if you have any questions, all right? I'm proud of you. Keep up the hard work. I'll talk to you later. Bye.